everyone, good evening. My name is Catherine from SEB Housing, and tonight I'm going to run the lottery for the 7 affordable homes at Harmony in Bellingham. And I'm going to get the lottery underway in just a few moments. Just a quick FYI, you should have heard the prompt when you came into this room, but this session is being recorded, and that's because it's going to be posted to SEB Housing's YouTube channel later on tonight. So if you have any questions during the session, you're encouraged to go ahead and type them into the Zoom chat, or you can unmute yourself to ask a question. When you came into the meeting, you were muted automatically just to minimize any outside noise. First, just want to give you some background information on the lottery, how many applicants applied, to give you a better sense of that. And all of this information is also going to be provided to you in an email later on tonight. So there'll be a handout attached to the email that has the breakdown of applicants, household types and sizes and things like that for each unit type, or for each income tier, I should say. So there's 7 affordable homes. All 7 of those homes have 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. There are 3 50% AMI homes, 2 80% AMI homes, and 2 homes are reserved for households who make up to or have income, total annual incomes up to 120% of the area median income. So there's 32 total households in the lottery. And just to break it down for you further, for those 3 50% AMI homes, there are 3 units and 17 applicants. For the 2 80% homes, there are the 2 units and then 12 applicants. And for the 120% of AMI homes, there are 3 applicants for those 2 units. And so I'll break it down for you on that worksheet of how many, type 4 households, how many type 3 households. But that's where we stand right now. So all lottery households should already have their application number. So in this case, your application number is between A.001 and A.032 because there's 32 applicants. Let me know if you don't have that number, if you forgot it. It was emailed to you with the confirmation email confirming that you'd be part of the lottery. So I'm not going to be calling anyone's name during this session. You're not going to see your name on the screen or anything like that to protect everyone's privacy. So again, no need to write any of this information down because it will be provided to you in that follow-up email. But back when you completed your lottery application, you had indicated if your household type was either a type 1, 2, 3, or 4 household. And so what you want to keep in mind that in general, larger households are going to have priority for larger units. So type 4 households are going to have priority for these 4-bedroom homes over any type 3 households, and in turn, type 3 households will have priority on the waiting list over type 2 households. And that's because the affordable housing program is designed so that households don't have priority for units that have more bedrooms than their family on paper actually needs. So because of that, after the drawing tonight, or I should say during the drawing tonight, you're not going to know exactly where you stand on the waiting list. We first need to sort the results from the drawing tonight, and the email that you get later on is going to have the waiting list attached to it. That's going to be much more helpful to you because you'll be able to see exactly where your position is on the waiting list. So like I said, during the drawing tonight, you're not going to know exactly where you stand. You'll be able to see where you were drawn in the lottery, but that doesn't give you a full sense of where you're going to be on the waiting list because we have to sort by household size and priority. So when I do the drawing, I'm going to be using a website called random.org. I'm going to insert your application numbers, those 32 household application numbers, into a function called the list randomizer on that website, and it's going to digitally generate a random order. So we're doing it that way to try to keep the results as truly random as possible. And the randomization will be instantaneous. So you'll see it on your screen. I'm going to share my screen so you can see that. So I won't be drawing out numbers, you will see the randomization happen. Just to give you an example of how that works, I'm not going to do the actual drawing now, but I'm going to show you that website and just sort of show you on the screen. I'll share my screen in just a second. I'm going to share my screen so you can see how that's going to work. So I'm just going to type in the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm sharing my screen now, so you should be able to see it. I'm going to go to random.org. And if I go to, I'm going to go to the home page. There's all kinds of services here. We go to the list randomizer, and I'm just going to type in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Clearly, there's going to be 32 numbers when I'm actually doing this, but this is just to give you a sense of how this is going to work. So when I'm doing the actual drawing, your numbers are going to be in there as, A.001 through A.032. I'm going to click randomize right now, just for an example, and it randomized the numbers. So number 4 in this case came up first, and in just a few moments, I'll be doing the drawing that way. So that was just to give you a sense of what it's going to look like. So I'll click out of that, and we will do the drawing in just a moment with your numbers.
Hello?
Yep.
Sorry to interrupt. My computer was having issues.
No problem.
Can you tell me how many people are going for the 50 to 80%?
Sure. So let me get back to my notes on that. So the 50% units, there are 17 applicants, and the 80% units, there's 12 applicants.
Okay, 12.
Yep.
Okay. Is there anything else that I missed? Because my computer totally went out on me.
There's a few things, but all of the information that I already gave you is going to be in a worksheet that is attached to an email you'll get after the lottery tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, no problem. All right, so like I said, following the lottery, you're going to look out for that email that will be sent later on tonight. It's going to come from info@sebhousing.com. It's going to have the next steps in the process and a summary of a lot of the information I'm sharing with you tonight.
Okay, excuse me.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
how many person are in 50%? Can you tell
17.
again, please? 17?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. All right, so be on the lookout for that email, and the sorted waiting lists, like I said, are going to be attached to that email. So when you get that email tonight, you're going to notice that on the waiting list, the top households on each waiting list are going to be highlighted in green. So those are the households that are highlighted in green. Those are the households that are going to be contacted separately right away about the next steps in the process after the lottery. And that's because those are the households that are going to be immediately moving forward in the process. So if you're one of those top households, you can be on the lookout for a separate email from SEB Housing with the next steps to move forward towards purchasing the unit. So since there are more applicants than available units, once the waiting lists are established, if you're not one of those top households that's highlighted in green, you're not going to be moving forward at this time. However, if for any reason some of the top households on the waiting list ultimately do not purchase one of the homes, households who placed further down the waiting list will be contacted to move forward. So your takeaway again should be that if after we sort the results and you get the waiting list in your inbox, you're not one of those highlighted households, and I should specify, it's going to be the application number, the lottery number that is highlighted in green. If you're not one of those households, we won't be contacting you unless one or more of the top households drops off the waiting list. And that certainly does happen. The closing process can take several months. Applicants could drop off at any time between now and a potential closing. So just be on the lookout for that. If your contact information changes or anything like that, please let us know. And then a final note before the drawing. So buyers have to maintain eligibility through closing on the property. So Please remember to continue to hold on to your updated income information like bank statements, paychecks, tax returns, things like that, because we will be asking for updated information from you during your second review with SCB Housing. That occurs about a month before your closing date. And the purpose of that final review by SCB Housing is to confirm that you are still eligible for the affordable housing program. So you haven't had any drastic changes, income changes between the time of your lottery application and the time of your closing on the unit. And then just a reminder again, for the top households at SCB Housing, SCB will be involved throughout the closing process, but following the lottery and establishing the waiting list, you're also going to be put in touch with the sales team to schedule a tour if you haven't already seen the properties, reserve a unit, and sign that purchase and sale agreement to move towards closing with them. So there'll be a few different parties that are involved from this point forward. And then also we always like to mention that top households, you're now welcome to hire an attorney if you haven't already. You're encouraged to do that. It's a huge purchase, obviously, buying a home. And if you are one of those top households and you intend to move forward with this process, an attorney could help you with all of the documents and things that are to come. So with that, are there any questions before I do that drawing on screen? So I will be using random.org like I showed you, and it will be your lottery application number that will be up on the screen, and we'll do the randomized drawing now if you don't have any questions. All right, so let me just get everything here. Yep, great question. So I have a question that came up in the chat. Will we be notified once all the houses have been officially closed on? No, it could take a while, but you're always free to ask us. So, sometimes a couple months have gone by and clearly applicants are wondering if they're still on the list, if there's still any homes available, and we're happy to answer that for you if you'd like to know further down the line. Certainly reach out to us. info@scbhousing.com is the best way to do that. Is it broken down by AMI category? So it will be after the drawing tonight. There's just going to be one drawing tonight, and it's going to be all 32 application numbers. And then after tonight, we will be sorting all of those application numbers into the waiting list for the 50% AMI homes, 80% AMI homes, and then the 120% AMI homes. So it will be broken down once we're sorting the results. So I'm just going to grab the lottery numbers from a spreadsheet we have here, and I will put these into the random.org list randomizer function that we showed you there. Yep, before I do that, so how many applicants for 80% to 120? So I believe you're referring to the 120% units there because you can't be over the 120. So it's 3 applicants for the 120% AMI homes. And in the, yep, same question. So for those, there's only 3 applicants for the 120% homes. There are 12 total applicants for the 80% homes, and the 50% homes, 17 applicants. And like I said, all of that will be sorted into waiting lists so you can see exactly where you fall within those groups. All right, so I'm going to share my screen again. Let me just get on the website here. And I'm sharing again now. You should see random.org on your screen. And I'm going to show you how I selected. This is an Excel spreadsheet here. I am selecting all of the application numbers, so all 32 of the application numbers. It looks like there's 33, but it's just because we have a column heading here. And I'm going to go to the list randomizer function that we just used. I'm going to copy and paste them into there. So now we have all application numbers in there. And when I click randomize, it's going to spit them back out in a random order. And then I'm going to actually, so I don't lose these results, I have a different spreadsheet here that I'm going to grab. One second here. I'm just going to stop sharing for a moment just so I can open this without confusing things. One more questions here. So, yep, this is all going to be broken down in in the email that you get later on tonight. It's going to have a breakdown of how many, type 4 households, type 3 households, and all of that. But I can break that down for you now. So, for the 50% AMI unit, 17 applicants, 5 of those applicants are type 4 households, 4 of them are type 3 households, 5 applicants are type 2 households, and 3 applicants are type 1 households. Those are for the 50% units. For the 80% AMI units, there's 12 total applicants, 4 of them are type 4 households, 5 of them are type 3 households, 1 type 2 household, and 2 type 1 households. And then for the 120% AMI units, there's 1 type 3 household and 2 type 2 households. All right, so I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. Okay, I'm sharing the screen again now. As you can see, all 32 numbers are in here. I'm going to click randomize, and this is going to be the drawing for Bellingham Harmony. And I'm going to immediately get these results and put them into, I'm going to do a screenshot and everything and make sure that they're in the spreadsheet. So I'm going to maximize this so everybody can see as much of the screen as possible. And I'm going to click randomize. And there are the results. So I'm going to take these results. You're going to be able to see where you fell in just a moment. I'm going to put them in here. And I'm going to just I'm just going to, hold on one second. I just want to make sure that you're able to easily read it. So I'm going to just clean this up for just a moment. Okay, so those are the results. I'm going to also make sure I save this. But these are the results. So again, this is not the waiting list for the units, for the homes. If your lottery application number is A.016, you were drawn first. We don't know if that person is a type 1 household, a type 4 household. We have to do all the sorting. We don't know if they applied for a 50% unit, 80% unit, 120% unit. We don't know. So all you know now is where you have fallen on during the drawing. And the results will be sorted and sent to you later on tonight. But I'm going to scroll down this because right now you can only see the top 20 or so. So I'm going to scroll down so you can see your number there. Try to maximize it a little bit. I'm going to get rid of this just so it doesn't cause any confusion. And I'll scroll down to 32. So a question came in, is there any 6 households and 50% AMI? So I don't have, and we have a more detailed database with exactly how many household members are in each household, but all that matters is your type, your household type, so 1 through 4. If you have 8 people in your household, you're considered a type 4. If you have 6 people in your household, you might be considered a type 4 as well. So it doesn't matter as long as you're all, if 2 households are type 4, they would have the same priority, even if one household might have another member. So again, these are the results from the drawing tonight, the lottery, the drawing, but we still have to sort these results. So once we do that, you'll have the waiting lists in hand. You'll see where you fall on either the 50, 80, or 110% AMI waiting list. And if your number is highlighted in green, you will be sent a separate email and asked to move forward to the next step in the process. Any questions on the drawing? Okay, so I checked the database and we do have email addresses for everyone. So you will all have the results in your inbox from info@sebhousing.com. That's where the email will be coming from. And if you have any questions on that or any of the attachments like the waiting list, please let us know once you get it. And thank you for attending, and we will be in touch very soon. Thank you. Have a good night.